Senator, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
So what did you hear from the president? Did you like what he said? What are your concerns?
Well, to be honest with you, I just got bits and pieces because I've been in a meeting here. I don't like the idea of going down to 5,500 based on a date on the calendar. I like the idea of continuing to 9,800 through most of 2016. It should be a conditions-based withdrawal. Our soldiers over there are an insurance policy against the next 9/11. So going down to 5,500 makes absolutely no sense to me.
Can I ask Senator Graham, it's Dan Clydeman, is 9,800 enough, or given what you're seeing on the ground, but is it enough? I mean, to get the job done?
Our commanders say they wanted 13,600. We went to 9,800. They tell me that gives a presence in all four corners of Afghanistan. You're able to get outside of Kabul and interact with the Afghan military, and it gives you some counterterrorism footprint. The key here is to make sure the Afghan army doesn't fall apart, and the counterterrorism mission, which protects the homeland, is robustly resourced. I wouldn't go one soldier below 9,800. If I were president, I'd probably be at 13,600. But I could live with 9,800. 5,500 is a disaster.
Senator, at the top of his remarks, the president talked about the resurgent Taliban, a rise in an al-Qaeda presence, the Islamic State putting down roots in Afghanistan. What does it say that 14 years after American troops first went into Afghanistan, we still have all of these stubborn security problems?
Well, you're going to have them. Radical Islam is metastasizing and sort of running wild. I mean, what happens in Iraq and Syria? Hey, guys, what happens in Iraq and Syria is spreading throughout the world. But Afghanistan is a completely different country in 2015 compared to 2001. Millions of girls are going to school. Kabul has light. It has power. There's an economy. The life expectancy's increased by 15 or 20 years. So don't tell me or anybody else that things haven't gotten better in Afghanistan. They've got a couple 100,000 people trained under arms, but we're not there yet. Radical Islam is growing in strength in other places. That affects Afghanistan.
Senator, the Bush administration didn't trust Nouri al-Maliki in Iraq. They didn't like Hamid Karzai in Afghanistan. Do you trust President Ghani in Afghanistan to be a strong partner, as the president said?
The biggest trade since Babe Ruth is Ghani for Karzai. This is good. This is good. I know Ghani very well. Karzai became a paranoid, volatile leader that turned on us, and Ghani gets it. He's a very smart man. He understands the value of an American presence. He is trying to reform the country from top to bottom, including the military. We've got a long way to go in Afghanistan, but we've come a long way. The best partner we've had since the beginning of the war, and that's why we want to properly resource Afghanistan to take advantage of his new leadership.
One of the other things the president said was he's going to be hosting the president of Pakistan next week. How concerned are you about Pakistan's role in helping the United States tamp down al-Qaeda, the Taliban, and now the Islamic State?
It's very important. One of the reasons you don't want to let Afghanistan deteriorate and the Taliban come back is to puts pressure on Pakistan. They have 100 nuclear weapons. So you got 100 reasons to make sure that you can do what you can in Afghanistan. But Pakistan double deals. You got the ISI that helps the Taliban on one day. The next day they'll share intelligence about ISIL or al-Qaeda. They don't know what we're doing. I believe that once Pakistan saw that America was not going to withdraw from Afghanistan until we got things in a good, sustainable spot, they would adjust their behavior. They're making double bets. They're helping us on one day, and they're also betting the Taliban may come back the next because they're not so sure about who we are and what we're going to do. But it's good to talk to Pakistan, and it is very good for the president to push the prime minister of Pakistan to up his game.
Senator, one last one before we let you go. You're in the middle of the 2016 race. On the other side, the front runner is former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. I know you want the White House for yourself, but would you feel confident about the way she would handle the war in Afghanistan?
I think on the war in Afghanistan, she would be open to a conditions-based withdrawal. I think that Secretary Clinton would lead the number of troops that the commanders recommended and wouldn't have to, fulfill a campaign promise. But in general, she said she wouldn't. She took off the table ground forces in Syria. I don't know how you destroy ISIL in Syria without a ground component coming from the region of which we'll have to be part of. Russia and Iran are a real problem for her. But I would say in Afghanistan, she would probably be far more open than President Obama to leading the residual force of 9,800.
All right, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, one of the 2016 presidential nomination contenders. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.